Hey, Bookworms of Concord. Got my top 5 favorite horror books. As always, this is purely subjective, so I'm not saying these are the best horror books of all time, just the books that I've read that are my favorite. And with this being the 2025 edition, that means this list is subject to change by next year. At number 5 is Strangers by Dean Koontz. He has recently become one of my new favorite authors. I've only read, looks like 4 books by him so far, but I absolutely love this. Quite thick, as his books usually are. It's about a group of seemingly unconnected people experiencing mysterious and unsettling changes in their lives, such as insomnia, compulsive behaviors, and lost memories. And as they search for answers, they're drawn to this remote motel in the Nevada desert, where they uncover a shocking secret that links them all. I actually have a review of this up on my channel, so feel free to find that if you so desire. At number 4 is another Dean Koontz novel, Midnight, which is, it takes place in a small town in Northern California where people are undergoing terrifying genetic transformations. And as FBI agent Sam Booker investigates a series of strange deaths, and documentarian Chrissy Foster searches for the truth of the death of her sister, they uncover a sinister experiment designed to create a new superior race. Number 3 is The Outsider by Stephen King. A young boy is brutally murdered in a small Oklahoma town. I believe it's Oklahoma. Detective Ralph Anderson arrests a beloved coach named Terry Maitland, whose DNA and fingerprints are all over the place at the crime scene. But he has an airtight alibi. So just what the heck is going on? And as the case unravels, a sinister, otherworldly figure emerges, which challenges the detective's sense of reality and logic. I expected, this is the only Stephen King novel I have on my list. I thought I would have a lot more, because I have read quite a bit of Stephen King, although I couldn't decide between this and Cujo, but I went with The Outsider. But some of his books I wouldn't really classify as horror, at least the ones I've read, like The Green Mile, not horror. That was one of my favorite Stephen King books, but I don't see it as horror. It's just this weird supernatural thing. Misery, I wouldn't consider that horror. That's more of a thriller, in my opinion. But yeah, The Outsider, I really, really, really enjoyed. At number 2 is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. Yes, I do consider this a horror, not purely sci-fi. It's definitely sci-fi elements, but I think it's more horror. If you read the book, if you know, you know. But it's not anywhere. It's not like the movie at all. It's this much more gory, and a lot more interesting stuff about chaos theory in there. But the basic premise is the same, where the monumentally naive billionaire creates a theme park featuring cloned dinosaurs on a remote island, and when the park security system fails, the dinosaurs escape, turning a scientific marvel into a horrific fight for survival. But yeah, just read it. No matter how many times you've read or you've watched Jurassic Park, the first movie, just read it. You won't regret it, I promise. And the number 1, which will definitely, I think, surprise you, because you've probably never heard of it, is Ecclesia, Pastoral Theology in the Zombie Plague by Reverend Garen Pei. He is a colleague of mine, being a fellow LCMS pastor. I actually found out about this book on an episode of one of my friend and colleagues' podcasts called Suffering Servants, run by Reverend Tyler Cronkite. I don't know if he still runs it, because he he accepted a new call several months ago, and that podcast was kind of connected to where he was previously serving as pastor. But this is a self-published novel, so there are some spelling and grammatical errors, but that's something I am willing to overlook with it being a self-published. But it's about a small town Lutheran pastor finding himself in the middle of a zombie plague, and that's the key distinction: a plague, not an apocalypse. And as he struggles to protect his family, his church, and his town from flesh-eating monsters, he also battles against a crisis of faith. Basically, are 4 years of seminary training and a shotgun enough to keep the people he loves alive? You could classify this as a Christian fiction, but I put it in the horror category because, it's got flesh-eating zombies, for crying out loud. Yeah, so there is gore in here. But yeah, absolutely great. I believe this was when was this published? It's either in or around COVID. Doesn't look like it has the... Yeah, this was either published during or around COVID, which started during Lent in America, and the whole zombie plague here starts during Lent, and so there is that theological theme running throughout, and it's just it's really good. So I highly recommend this. So that's my list. Let me know if you've read any of the ones that I've read, and if you have any horror recommendations you think I'd enjoy. Okay, bye.